Hi, it's Mary with a passion for paper. Today we're going to be making some scrappy notepads. And I have here one that I finished. And this scrappy notepad is featuring a beautiful digital design here on the front from Dorothy Jane Paperie's Etsy shop. And I will link that below. It's one of her Jane kits. I believe this was Eliza, the fancy cousin of Jane. And so I will link that kit below. It has so many beautiful images, and I just love this piece here. And we have some vintage French lace from Jaizella's Lavish Laces Etsy shop, and I will also link that below. And then I have included some French authentic vintage book page. Here's another page from that gorgeous kit at Dorothy Jane Paperie's Etsy shop, and I will link that below, and it's double-sided so you get some beauty on the back. And then these are just a whole assortment of some gorgeous coffee and tea dyed papers that I have in my collection. I do sell a lot of the coffee dyed coffee and tea dyed papers in my Etsy shop, and I also featured a stamp here from Sam Poole Designs. And I have a little messy stitching at the top, and again that gorgeously grungy look on the back. So here is the sample, just to kind of show you what we're going to be doing today. And then I have two pieces here, shabby scrappy notepads that are in various processes of being completed. I started them, and as you can see, I use either a paper clip or a binder clip to kind of hold all the pieces in place as I am assembling them. And again, I've used some more Sam Poole stamps. This one has a piece of an authentic vintage book page in it as well. And again, my gloriously grungy coffee and tea dyed papers. And I did want to let you know that I have restocked several more packets of these in my Etsy shop, so you can purchase these. I stacked them up in batches of 20, so you will get an assortment. And I think that's one of the benefits of getting just a whole stack, is they're from all different batches. So you can see the level of dye is different, and there are multiple shades in each stack. Some are a little more grungy, some are less grungy, more plain, but there is a great mixture of all different types of coffee and tea dyed paper. And I have tied them with this lovely sari silk, which I did purchase from another Etsy shop. So love the community that we have in the handmade journal, junk journal community. It's just so wonderful. I've made so many great friends here, and I'm really happy that you're joining in and watching my channel, and consider you my friends as well. So please leave me a comment below, just to say hello. How are you doing? It's great to hear from you. When you do comment, it means so much to me, and I appreciate you being here. So these again are stacks of 20, and they are available right now in my Etsy shop until they sell out. As you can imagine, I have to keep replenishing them, and so sometimes it's a bit of time before I get at it again. So the dimensions are anywhere from around 3 inches, a little bit more, 3.5, all the way out to not quite 4 across. And then lengthwise we have mostly around 8.5. Okay, so, and as you can see, again, they're all just various depths of dye in here. So I have several sets of these ready to go, and they are in my Etsy shop. You can purchase those. I will link that as well. But let's make a scrappy notepad together. So I kind of want to just show you my process, and if you'd like, you could craft along with me. You can just grab some papers, either some that are already torn. I have this here, and then I could also just tear some pieces that I have that are whole pieces. So if you have a piece of paper, let's just go ahead and get this beautiful lace out of the way, and we'll get started. So what I like to do is just have an assortment of papers to start with. And, you know, I don't want them all to be exactly the same size. So I'm not going to go here and just tear exactly there. I would, you know, do a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, just to vary my sizes. And I also don't want all of the edges clean. And that is one of the fun things, make that just a little bigger, of getting the assortment, is some of them are more clean like this. Some of them I used a paper cutter, and some I will just hand tear. And I like to have the hand torn look as well. So I always include some of those in the Scrappy Notepads as well. And then I will just decide which one I want on the back. This looks good. And then I just eyeball it and fold the top down. So just for your information, it is just about 1 inch. And then I will just start stacking these. And I look to see, you know, where there's some interest. I like there's a little bit of dark shading here. So I'll put that down near the bottom, and I just go through and I also sometimes love this. So then it's like, ooh, should I turn it over and go this way? And sometimes I'll do that, and sometimes I'll do the other. So it's just nice to have a variety. And I just kind of try out a few different ones. I think I'm actually going to tear this as well. And I like that look. So I'm just going to put it there. And then I usually like to come along and bring in some specialty papers as well. And I always keep those little scraps. I'll probably stamp a little something on them and use them in a cluster. So I just have a few pages here that I have. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I don't think I actually want that one. I didn't know it had a design on the back. Here's one. That's just plain words on both sides, and just gonna pop this in here and see how we're looking. So that's actually a great length for this. And then I'm just going to tear off the side. And I love the patina on these vintage authentic book pages. I do have a few of these in my shop as well. I have them in as a part of a French themed junk journal kit. I think I want to tear this. And I have some really special items in that kit, and that kit is often sold out, and then I have to restock it, and sometimes it takes me a bit of time to do that. So if it's not available when you're looking, I do apologize, and hope to get another one back up there quickly. But it does take me a while because it has such an assortment of items. But it does have the French authentic book pages, as well as tea and coffee dyed paper, and some beautiful index cards that I have coffee dyed with images and the word Paris. It's all really quite lovely. Okay, so I think I want something kind of special and different, so I'm going to pop this in here. Now this is a copy of a original piece that I have in my collection, and just going to add this, and we need a little bit more paper. Let's see what I have here. So it's a nice color. Let's see if I could just tear this a couple of ways here. I just love working with the coffee and tea dyed papers. I do like to have a batch going all the time, and I do not measure. That's one of the ways I keep it so fresh and unique, is having different batches all the time going. And I love the variety that gives me, and how all the different shades and tones come together. Now, you can do a couple of different things. When you get close to the top, you can put in a focal point, or you can just keep adding regular papers. I really just look around my desk and see what I have. I think I'll put another one of these in sideways. I do actually want to see some French language, so I can see the French words poking out. They're so beautiful. I love the French language. I am still doing Duolingo. I'm really enjoying it. I'm on a streak, I think in the 100. Over 100. I think I want to put the page number in, so I'm going to bring it up a bit. Ooh, or I could do a little different and put it here. I think that's what I was thinking of doing originally. So let's do that. And then I need a little something here. What else might be lovely in there? Oh, some of this interesting looking paper. So this again is something I do with a double dye process. I dye the paper with coffee and tea dye, and then I put a stencil on it and spray it with more coffee and tea dye and let it dry in the sun. So I make those mostly in the summer, and love the way they come out. So I want this to be torn up about here. Just kind of take it like that and pop it in there. Now this is just such a nice waterfall of papers, and I think that's one of the pleasing things. I think I will add a little stamp here. Using the Sam Pool stamps, and I have this beautiful ink set that my daughter bought me for Christmas actually a year ago. And so I have this little acrylic block, it's the Paris and the date. So I'll just put that here in the black, and just add it right down here. There we go. So I think those stamps just bring so much to the project. Love them. Just gonna tuck in a few more things here. Let's see. Ooh. I was gonna say I could put this in here. It's already got stamps on it. I just pull these out of my stash. I have a whole stack of little papers that I fold, and I'm thinking of putting them into a sweet little journal or a booklet. And then sometimes I just raid those stacks to use the papers for something else. So, and then I get distracted and start building a little book. But that's the fun part. Let me see what other gems I have in here. So these, Okay, I'll just let you see what I'm looking at here. I have these. Now, none of these are bound. They're all just stacks that I'm considering making a little something out of, whether that be a booklet or a journal. And they're all in their own little themes. Ooh, this is a beautiful page. Look at that. And this one I love too. So let me just see. I think I'm going to take this out. I love this coloring. It's just beautiful. And it's just the right size. So I am going to add this to our Scrappy Notepad. Now, you can see a little bit of that. Just kind of estimate what would look good, how much to hang down, and then just rip off the excess. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Love it. Okay, now it's another little piece from something we tore off earlier. I'm telling you, you can just use so many wonderful little scraps. They look great in these. Just make it look even more scrappy for the Scrappy Notepad. Do want to show off some words on either side of that. And then I'm really loving this. So we could stop here. Let me get a little clip. Or we could keep going. I mean, again, there's no set formula. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll leave them here like these, just gorgeous neutral colors, right? And then you could get a focal point and put it in a journal that you're trying to, you know, make cohesive. Like this one would be gorgeous in a journal with some more of the Dorothy Jane Paperie images. And I have made journals featuring Dorothy Jane Paperie images before, if you check out my channel. And I will link, I'm thinking of one in particular that had that beautiful green image on the cover, and I will link that below as well. So the last thing that I normally do is I would put a piece of French book page across the top. I love having the French words there. I don't always do it, but I do often do it. And then, so like for example, let's just see how this would look. I could do the title, but I don't normally. I normally would just, let me just tear it like this so you can see what I'm talking about. I normally do something just about 3 or 4 lines long, and I'm gonna tear it down a little bit for size. And then I'm going to, really need to take the whole thing off, but I might as well since I'm here. And then it would be, actually, I think I'll go down to that line and just have this, and then put some lace or trim on top of it or in the middle, and that way I just have a nice, now this might be too much because I have this, okay, so you can see the title on this one, which is kind of fun. But let's see, oh, here's another one just as another sample. I see this was in my little ephemera stash. So this has the French book page behind, and then just a little piece of the French lace peeking here. Actually, this is the same lace that I put across the entire one of this. And so we have some lovely papers in this one as well. Again, with the beautiful patterns, some gorgeous grungy, and the French vintage book pages. And then this one, I love this, the way that's torn there. So that's another one. So yeah, that's pretty much the process. And then, oh, we are going to fix this because I think it's a little bit too much. How about a little something like this at the top? That's pretty. Maybe even this. Or I could add a little bit more here, kind of like this idea. Having something, that way I could put the French words across the top if I don't have so many showing down below. So I think what I'll do here is I'm just going to eyeball that, and then I'm going to tear some off here, and that way we can still see it. It's peeking out. Let's try this again. And now it looks better because it's not as much. I'd even do something like this. Could try putting that there, and then this could even be more just in the center. I like that, but now this is very similar to this. I think I would put another piece in here to break it up a bit. And let's see what I might have for that. Just looking at another little stash here. You can tell this is almost the same as that. This one might be good. Let's take a look. If I had this down below here, it's interesting. Yeah, let's see how that would be. Just put that right in there. Now, if it's that close, it's kind of hard to tear that. I might just take a scissor and cut it across the top, and then assemble it this way. Okay. And just going to tear some of this off. Try to make it look a little more scrappy. Don't want too many perfect edges. I'm going to take a little bit of this off too. There we go. Very nice. Another option you could do is put a little lace on this piece down here. Also have, so many fun ideas. I have a little bit of coffee dyed cheesecloth. Could try doing a little something with this. Maybe I could put a little bit of that in the middle. Let's just see how that would be. Give it a little bit more texture and 3D type of a feel. Let's see, I think these are just a little too bright. Looking for something a little bit, oh, I kind of like this. This is the world's tiniest cluster. Just sewed it together. Little pieces there. That's kind of cool. I like that as well. Just trying to think if I wanted to do something with this. Try that. Have some more little threads here. We could do something with these. If they might be too bright. I'm liking this, so let's go have a little sew. I just like to sew the top because I love the messy threads. right back. I'm just going to sew down and across. And back again. Okay, we are almost there. And that's it. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right, here it is. I love the messy threads. Okay, so I have some messy threads on this side, some on this side. I think this one needs to get cut off. I don't know where that went. That must have been from this tiny little cluster. So there we have it. We made a scrappy notepad together. That was so fun. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. And I do hope that you found some inspiration here and that you have a wonderful day and enjoy making yourself some scrappy notepads. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.